We'll begin with some opening remarks from Coach Desormeaux, and then we'll take questions for both Coach and from the student athletes. Coach?
Thank you, Dan. So, always a good time when the Cajuns are in New Orleans. Great to be here. I think Media Day is always fun because it's the kickoff of the season, right? Right around the corner when people start talking about football. What an exciting time to be a part of the Sun Belt Conference. Having been around this league for a long time, really exciting to see the Sun Belt become a destination for schools where they want to be. Under the leadership of Commissioner Gill and his staff, they put together a great plan to get schools that have football tradition in places where football is important. And our conference certainly got better this year with the addition of the 4 new schools with James Madison, Old Dominion, Southern Miss, and Marshall. Really excited about the rivalries that it creates, the regional matchups. Some of them go back a long time before there ever even was a Sun Belt. So for us, we're excited about it. Always a good thing whenever we get to celebrate our student athletes. We've got 2 of the best that exemplify what the Raging Cajun culture is all about with Andre and Chris. These are guys that came in and did things the right way on and off the field. Never forget recruiting Andre coming in. Doesn't look quite like he does now. He's a guy that's just worked so hard and become such a great leader, great player for us. And he's a testament to work ethic and development. Chris Smith is a guy who went get out of Nanawaya, Mississippi. I can't ever really say it right, but it's close. And Chris Smith is a small town guy, do it all in high school, multiple sport athlete, great kid, one of those guys you go in the school and people don't stop talking about. And these guys have certainly not disappointed since they've been here. So you got 2 of the best that represent a really good culture and great leadership on our team.
Me. Before we take questions from Coach Desormeaux and the student athletes, I do want to point out since we do have new people, new teams, new faces in the room, Josh Bruner, raise your hand, Sports Information Director at Louisiana. He's the guy to go to for information about the Raging Cajuns. We'll now take questions for Coach and the student athletes. For those of you in the room, if you have a question, please raise your hand and wait for a microphone to come to you. We also ask if you would please stand so we could catch you on camera. Please state your name and your media affiliation before you ask your question. And for those of you listening in on Zoom, please type your questions into the chat and I'll read those aloud. So first, any questions from the floor? Right back here.
Coach, Emmanuel Pappas, Sun Belt Conference. Just wanted to get you to talk about, of course, this is your first full year now as a head coach. What does it mean to you personally to be kind of the next guy in line as far as continuing what's been such a great tradition in Lafayette?
Well, it means everything to me. I was able to be a part of the last 3 coaching staffs in some way, shape, or form, from Coach Bustle as a player to Coach Hudspeth on his staff to Coach Napier, certainly. A lot of people spend their whole careers trying to get back home. And for me, I've been so fortunate to be able to do it at my hometown university, my alma mater, and in a place where, the last going on 7 years now, I've been able to be a part of building it. So it means everything to me. These guys that we've recruited over here that have bought into this program, certainly they mean the world to me too. So it just, to me, it's a great experience and something that I'm very grateful for.
Kevin Foote, Acadiana Advocate. Coach, if you and then also Andre and Chris talk about the things that maybe we don't notice as fans and media members that go into all the close games y'all have won and all the fourth quarters y'all have dominated over the last 2 seasons.
Well, it's an expectation and a confidence that our guys know that they're going to win. And, confidence comes from preparation and from the work that you do beforehand. This team is just so close. What people don't know is on the sideline, doesn't matter how good or how bad things get, this team never folds. They never point fingers. We get back to the bench, we fix our own problems, and we wait for the other side of the ball, whichever that may be, to get their corrections made and to get on track. And, that just comes from the time spent together. And, of course, everyone's got the same amount of time. but the daily work that we do and the diligence in which we do it, our theme for this year has been the differences in the details. And I truly believe that those details have made the difference for us in a lot of these close games. And, just to watch these guys operate on the sideline, pick each other up, go out there the next play. And, if it's the offense that's struggling a little bit, the defense goes, get a stop, gets a turnover, gets us good field position. If it's the defense that lets one go, offensively go down and respond. So those are the things that, it's day-to-day stuff. It's kind of hard to put your finger on. But if you're in the building, you see it and you kind of feel it every day. I'll let you guys go ahead with it.
I say it's the brotherhood that we create each and every day. After that last game in the fall, and then when spring come around, we're back to work. Everybody get to know everybody. Everybody got to trust the next man beside you. So when you're working with that man beside you, guess what? You got to trust him. You got to build bonding with him. You got to know what he's doing outside of football, so he's prepared for when the season comes. Then when summer comes around, guess what? We back at it again working. 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, it don't matter what time it is. Then guess what? When the coaches leave, we're doing extra work. So when the coach is gone, guess what? You're building with your teammates. So you got to know that the next man beside you going to give everything he got. Because if he not, guess what? It's a mistake. It's like you reading the option. If the end don't contain the quarterback and the cornerback don't contain outside, it's a bust play. Offense wins. So you got to be able to trust the next man beside you and make sure he's ready and prepared.
I would say, we got a close bond on our team. We always stick together. We always remember, the coaches up, but when we get out there on the field, it's us. So we always stick together.
Raymond Parch with the game, 103.7 Lafayette, 104.1 Lake Charles. This is for the players and Coach Des. For you guys, you had opportunities. You guys could have left. You decided to come back for another season, play for Coach. Why was that so important, and what are the leadership roles that you guys have taken on to kind of set the tone for the rest of the team and the younger players, and Coach just follow up with their leadership qualities?
As a hometown kid out of Mississippi, you expect to go play for the Southern Miss, the Ole Miss, the Mississippi State schools. But when you're in high school and you're giving everything you got, and they don't notice you because you're too small, you're not fast enough, you're not big enough, you don't have the qualities to be an SEC player or a Power Five kid. Then when a school like UL come and give you opportunity and you take full advantage of that, it's like you don't want to leave that. You don't want to leave what everybody's giving you. Lafayette is more than football. It's a family. They're going to feed you. They're going to take care of you. If you need something, they're going to give it to you. It's like doing community service. It's not like it's just football. It's giving back to the community because they gave you a chance and you've taken advantage of them. You've been great to them. So why would you leave something that's been great to you? So it's a great opportunity. And Coach Daz, he's been there for me since 2017, 2018 when I was in junior high school. And you're going to drive 5 hours and get lost for 2 or 3 hours. And guess what? That's an 8-hour trip. You can't find a little small school in down the way. You come out there, you risking it all for a kid like me. And for me to be in the position I am now to be a leader on this team, I'm not going to leave that. I'm not going to leave this team behind me knowing they need me. They're depending on me. And I can contribute as more just a football player, as a leader. Because when I sat out that bowl game last year, I gave it all I could to coach those guys and let them know that I'm here for them. They need something. I'm going to show them that I can help them out, just by being a coach, other than just being a player.
I would say when it comes to this team, it's bigger than football. They gave me an opportunity and they changed my life since I've been here. I met some of the greatest people, and the networking and the loyalty with these people. I didn't want to leave. I wanted to come back and help them win another championship. And I wanted to be a part of it, to be a part of the community and everything, because they changed my life. I've been in some of the places I thought I would never been with football, and they just some of the most loyal people ever.
Well, I think when people ask about what makes us special, I think, that answers your question with those guys right there. They are what makes us special.
Got a question for Coach and for the players. Same question we've had a lot so far today. There was a lot of talk yesterday about how strong the Sun Belt East Division is. Is the West Division sort of getting ignored this year?
Yeah, I think it is. The East Division is very good, rightfully so. But I know what we have on the west side of this division as well. You talk about all these one-possession games, 14 of them in the last 2 years. Well, that's against a lot of these Western Division opponents as well. So, one one of the things we talk about in our group is, you ignore the noise and you don't let it affect you negatively, but you listen to it just enough to allow it to motivate you some. And, all those things play into it a little bit in the off season.
I would say, I wouldn't sleep on nobody in the West or either side because, it's been proven every year, you're going to get everybody the best. For example, App State and us was, kind of running it for a minute. Then you got Coastal Carolina come out in 1 year and have a great year. So, you can't sleep on nobody because everybody will give you the best.
Right. Like they say, it's not an East-West division. It's the Sun Belt. Everybody's going to give you your best no matter who you are. At the end of the season, everybody's competing for a bowl game. Guess what? You're going to get the best every single play, every game. So to say the West cannot compete with the East is really disrespectful because everybody's gonna play hard. You got the same players from all around the country, from every state. And it's everybody can ball. So all this division, Sun Belt, Power 5, it doesn't matter. Group of 5, you're gonna get the best out of everybody.
Andre, a question for you. Just talking about this offensive line, because obviously you go against them every day in practice. A couple of changes up front from last year, but just kind of talk about that group and going up against them and kind of what you see from them.
It's gonna be some new faces, but they've been here and they just getting more opportunity to play this year. They getting a bigger role. A lot of guys that's not here no more. It's just next man up mentality, and the people that been behind them could have been played. They just getting the opportunity to play now and showcase themselves. And them guys work hard every day. This whole year, they've been working hard. Iron sharpens iron.
Got a Zoom question for Coach, and I guess that could also be for Chris. How does the quarterback situation look after you had an outstanding performance from Levi Lewis over the last several years?
Yeah, what Levi's done for our football team the past few years is, it's nothing short of phenomenal. When you start breaking records, guys like Jake Delhomme, that says quite a bit. It's like anything, and, kind of the theme for us this year was opportunity. We've recruited really well, and we've signed good players, and in the quarterback room, it's certainly no exception. A lot of really talented kids in there. There's a bunch of guys that in the future are going to be really good players. For us right now, the two that we feel like are ready right now to help us go win are Chandler Fields and Ben Woolridge. Those guys, these guys can tell you the leadership qualities are there, the work ethic is there. They're both really talented players. And for us, going into it, there's nothing wrong with competition. I think in any position that you've got more competition, it makes you better. We'll find a way to make the reps count and give them the reps that they need. And certainly that's something that we've got planned out already going into camp. But, I feel really good about those guys. Whoever wins this job is going to allow us to go out there and go compete the way we want to compete. Chris, I don't know if you want to.
Coach said it best right there. Just that work ethic and just those guys competing. That it don't get much better than that because you love competition. You don't want to just say, oh, yeah, he's sorry, he can't play. But those two guys, they're doing a heck of a job, and I love competing with them every day because sometimes I hop in there and say I can be the starting quarterback, but I know it's just going to make them better.
Andre, this is for you. Obviously, you guys lose some pieces on the defensive side of the football, but you have you coming back. Obviously, you have Zion coming back. You have Braylon. You have a lot of key impact players on that side of the football. What have you guys been working on this offseason, and what's your mentality heading into camp to get even better and be more dominant this coming season?
I say one thing we've been working on is accountability, keeping each other up, make sure we're doing the right thing, because we always tell each other, you got 11 people on the field, and 10 people can do it right, and one person mess it up. And, we just hold each other accountable, and we give each other that look like we on the game field, hey, this the last ride, we got to make it count. So even the young guys that come in, we on them too, and they look up to us. So, we can't tell them one thing and not do that. So, we always tell them too that they can talk up and speak. We hold each other accountable, and in that bond, that chemistry, we keep it rolling.
Got a question for Coach, and I guess also for both Chris and Andre. You're picked to win the West Division once again. Do you use the preseason poll as a motivation?
I think the preseason poll, I think it's a sign of respect from your peers in the conference, and I think that obviously means something, for them to say that. I mean, the preseason doesn't mean a whole lot. In 2018, we were picked to finish last. So it doesn't mean a whole lot for you. I think you can use it as motivation, if you feel like you're in a certain spot. But for us, the page has been turned. Our motivation is for this year. What we've done in the past doesn't affect what's going on this year. A preseason poll certainly has no determination on how it finishes. So, for us, it's we're grateful that people feel that way. But we certainly know it doesn't mean that they're just not going to show up on Saturday because they picked us first.
Like Coach said it best, it don't really matter what we did last year, what we're going to do this year. The respect thing, we appreciate that, but we got the blinders on. We want to prove ourselves right. We ain't worried about proving somebody else right.
Right. The past is the past, but guess what? It's a new season. Every day, every week, every year, somebody's going to decide that because the Raging Cajun lost this piece, because they lost that piece, they're going to fall off. But I tell you, every year we're going to come out, we're going to compete and give it our best each and every game.
Hi, guys. Nick Shermy, ESPN Lafayette, 1420 AM. This one's for Chris. Being a guy coming out of, like you said, small-town Mississippi, what does it mean to have Southern Miss in the division? And is that kind of – do you have some kind of extra heat, extra gas in the tank playing against them?
I mean, it's going to be a great competition because coming out of high school, Southern Miss was one of the schools that did offer me. But I didn't feel like that was the right fit for me. But just going back there, being back at home, I call it home because that's Mississippi. Mississippi is my home. But all the family's going to be there. They're trying to get tickets now, so I'm like, yeah, pack it out. Be there. They call it The Rock. Let's rock the place. Let's bring it on. Let's get it.
Any other questions from the floor? Coach, Chris, Andre, we appreciate you being here. Good luck this season.
Appreciate you.
We'll continue here.